of interesting to me, Aaron, that the two candidates of this whole campaign from the kind of quote unquote business world, Carly Fiorina and Donald Trump, within the business world are not super respected, right?
Mitt Romney basically made fun of Donald Trump, the businessman, in that speech he gave this week, which was pretty amazing stuff because 4 years ago, he thought Donald Trump was a great guy and a really brilliant businessman. Now, not so much. And Carly, she had a very checkered history at HP, I think it's fair to say. And after she left AT&T before that, at Lucent, there were some accounting issues after she left there too. So she had a checkered past. But for business, this is all shaping up to be terrible. I mean, you would expect it from the Democrats, especially socialists like Bernie Sanders, bashing big business, but it's working for the Republicans as well. So there is no champion for business right now on the national stage.
And not only that, Brian, but the policies we are hearing for a long time, we didn't hear anything about economic policy, but we're starting to hear, sort of this anti-trade, protectionist rhetoric, obviously from Donald Trump, but Hillary Clinton is out with a new ad that is names 8 or 9 companies by name and really decrying inversions, which maybe we all think are a bad idea. But there is a real anti-business campaign by literally everybody on the trail, it feels like, right?
Well, I think Hillary is always very measured. I mean, she's very, calculating on these kinds of things. But I do think that there's a commonality on, a little bit of this protectionist feel on both sides. And I think Hillary's probably trying to tap into that from the electorate. I mean, Trump has certainly ridden that whole thing, to where he is now. So he's talking about putting up walls and flexing our power and taking down Mexico and China and teaching everybody a lesson. And Hillary's being a little more subtle, I think.
I think Brian's alluding to something that maybe right now Hillary is probably the most likely candidate to get the backing of big business because she's someone they feel like they can work with her and she's sane and an adult and we can do business with her. And we've done business with her in the past, especially when she was the senator.
And typically on the Republican side, the establishment lane candidates might be the ones that would be pro-big business. But even it was shocking to me to hear in the debate this week, Ted Cruz talking about minimum wage. He was talking about people working for $8 an hour and just thinking that what's he really going to do about that? But the other thing to mention here is that we had a jobs number come out today that was pretty good. So does any of this conversation change or turn up a little bit, Brian, going forward?
Well, I think, there's an interesting disconnect. The unemployment rate's at 4.9%, which everybody would say is good. I mean, other people point deeper that the participation rate hasn't been very good. It did come back up a little bit this month. But I mean, I think the bigger thing is that the malaise out there that Trump is feeding off of is this income inequality, and underemployment and people that have jobs but can barely make it by on the jobs they have. And so I think we still, I don't think we're plunging into a terrible recession kind of economically, but we have problems to work on.
Yeah, and that's not going to go away.